I've decided, chat, I'ma stop smoking weed, okay? Psych, you just got clickbaited, okay? I don't actually smoke, I don't do drugs, you know? We keep it halal, we keep it no inside this temple, you know what I mean? But we wanted to check out this video. You need to quit weed. So if any of you in the chat, if any of you is doing this shit, you better stop it, okay? Because we're going to check this video out. Alright.
Devastating consequences for your life. This is an unpopular thing to say, but it's true. We don't think it should be illegal because for most people using weed isn't problematic or has only mild negative consequences. But about 20% of people who've ever tried it develop cannabis use disorder, and some of them become severely addicted. That's
just a question, quick question to everybody. Has anybody seen somebody that is highly addicted to cannabis? Like, what I mean is, like, they're like a heroin addict type shit, you know what I mean? Has any, because I don't think I have. But who knows? Maybe there is somebody that I've never seen, because, you know, like, you don't usually seem to hang out with people that are like heavy addicts, you know. But who knows? Maybe some of y'all know.
It's actually a stunning amount of people, and many who start using weed don't know what they're in for. In the US, daily or near daily weed use has skyrocketed since way before legalization, and there are now...
Whoa. Wait, in 1990s, number of people in the US in millions. It was like under 2 mil. Now it's
more daily users of weed than drinkers of alcohol.
Dead ass, bro? I wouldn't. No, generally I would not have thought that.
Most daily users consume very high amounts.
I mean, I'm not from the US.
In 2023, 1 in 15 adult Americans were suffering from some form of cannabis addiction. In England, cannabis is by far the top drug teenagers seek help for. Today, we'll ignore medical use, casual users, and people with mild problems, and instead, we focus on the people who have a serious addiction or are in danger of developing one, even if they're not aware of it. Weed is usually discussed in the context of teenagers because using any drug while your brain is melting and rebuilding itself is a bad idea. Instead, we'll have a frank conversation about how to fix you in your 20s and 30s. We'll combine research with our own personal experience of weed addiction. Unfortunately, we do have plenty of both. Please check out our sources, but also know this script is gay. So, let's get into it. Becoming addicted by accident.
This is the thing, bro. If anybody tells you just try hit this one time at this party, do this, don't do it, okay? If it's not like hit this dork or some shit, then hit that MFer. You know, or something, but like not some drugs, bro. Come on, we got a few.
Most people slip into addiction gradually and slowly. They start using weed for a variety of reasons: to experiment, to cope or unwind from stress, because it's fun and easily available. Weed can make you feel more alive and things more exciting. Music sounds better, movies are funnier,
Seriously?
Food is a delight. It can be great fun with friends and a major source of comfort. The frequency with which you're consuming weed is the most obvious thing to look out for. If you're using daily or almost daily, this is a clear sign you're developing a problem. As a daily user, your risk of cannabis use disorder is up to 30%. Damn. And certainly
But that guy, look at this guy in the poster. He looks so cool though. He got a suit and he's smoking. It's kind of making me want to... No. Tap out of it. Come on.
Irrelevant risk, since it might take years before you realize the full weight of it. So, if you're not careful about it, what started out as an occasional high becomes more and more normalized. Bit by bit, your weekends revolve around weed or shift to activities that you can do stoned. Often other hobbies or obligations become less of a priority. Then it creeps into most weekdays, and finally, it's an established ritual every day. Over time, weed's nature changes. The joy-enhancing effects...
Actually, I think about... I know one person that was... Nah, the thing is, people don't use addicted to weed though. That's the thing, but like... Yeah... It does make you a lazy ass,
Dissipate while a comfortable numbness takes over.
Very sad.
Weed can become your primary method of coping with life, but it doesn't make you stronger, better, or more resilient. Instead, it covers up negative emotions by building a snail shell that you can retreat into. Do you have a problem with weed? Super easy test. Stop doing it for 4 weeks, starting today. Not tomorrow, today. No matter what you have coming up. If that feels challenging or you can't make it, this should give you food for thought. Once weed has become a daily or near daily habit, the cumulative damage to your...
I had a problem, you know. Actually, like not even joking. What I had an issue with was chips. Yeah, I really had an issue with it. When I was younger, I was just munching through it every couple of days or something, you know. And I had to stop it, you know. I had to stop it. I'm still not good with it, but still, I used to just love potato chips, bro. Genuinely.
Your life can be profound. But first, let's talk about another thing that can become
Pringles hot and
harmful
spicy.
without you noticing it. No data security. Today's sponsor, Incogni,
We don't give a shit.
brokers will
We don't give
no
a
longer
shit.
offer
We don't
sites
give a shit. We
spin
don't give a
very
shit.
and get
We don't give a shit.
forever tomorrow. For problematic weed users, life can sometimes progress in slow motion. The addiction keeps you where you are, while your
Laziness.
body ages and your friends move forward. But youth masks stagnation.
Bro, this should give
for
you
years,
food for
you
thought,
don't notice
bro.
how much weed might be holding you back, because if you're young, life changes by itself.
It's
The
such a
outside world
normalized
takes
drug,
on the
that's
initiative and provides a lot of support for you. You're surrounded by peers, may still have childhood friends, progress through school, start work or university, and find new places and friendships. Moving slowly is kind of okay in your
Damn.
20s, as life naturally throws experiences and challenges at you. But it's still not great for you. This is the time when your body is probably at its peak, and you can use it for things you'll not be able to do later, from sports to dating and staying out late.
That is true. Instead, you want to stay home and just be stoned, bro, staring at a wall, eating Doritos, bro, and saying, "That's crazy, dude." You know what I mean? Come on, bro.
Traveling and experiencing the world. It's the easy.
What would you guys say is the hardest drug, though? Like the worst one. I'm gonna go with heroin or Fent, maybe.
It's
Actually.
time to build a healthy social
But Fent is like inside other. It could be even laced in your weed. You don't even know.
life, the greatest predictor of how happy you'll be over the next few decades. You'll likely never have fewer responsibilities again, so you can explore and take risks. Spending this time stoned with passive activities like scrolling over reposts on Reddit is something you might regret later. You'll never get this period of your life back. As you age out of your 20s, things change massively. Around this time, most people naturally tone down their weed consumption or quit entirely. You're entering one of life's great inflection points, and you risk getting left behind. Your social life is different after 30. Friendships
Really?
need care, attention, and active time investment to survive, and weed addiction works against you on multiple levels. Studies show that for some people, weed can worsen social anxiety, especially if you start using more and more.
And that's the reason why people take it, so they're less anxiety, bro.
Once you feel anxious about socializing,
like
it
all
becomes
drugs.
pretty tempting to just stay home and avoid events or new experiences. Since weed numbs feelings, it's easy to push away FOMO or guilt about cancelling last minute. You'll go next time. But will you? Speaking from personal experience, you may turn into a friend that's unreliable, flaky, or rarely shows up anymore.
Speaking from
But the more opportunities to hang out with friends you skip, the fewer will be there in the
always
future.
a Peter, bro. It's
Especially if
always
you
a
do
Peter.
weed alone, it can become the central focal point in your life. Reports show that many people with addictions gradually reduce the activities or hobbies they once enjoyed in favor of consuming. Bit by bit, this can make you withdraw from the people in your life.
Damn.
While this can be pretty bad for your social life in your 20s, it may be catastrophic by the time you turn 30. Because in their 30s, most people are plenty busy. Careers, partners, travel, children, and their closest friends are now priorities. Free time becomes super valuable, and casual hangouts turn into two adults comparing their calendars. So people in their 30s are way more selective about what and who they spend their time with. Smoking a joint drops way down their priority list.
This is where I want to see all y'all, okay? Let's all kick the can.
Even without falling out, you may simply become incompatible.
Again, a joke. I don't do, these things. I be
If
thinking
your identity becomes tied up with weed, or when your friends have a lot going on and you don't. This happens a lot without weed, but weed can supercharge it. So many problematic weed users focus on a small circle of friends and acquaintances who are also using weed. This can create an isolation trap. If your friends quit or they withdraw to use it alone, you can face sudden isolation and loneliness. Or you may feel pressure to keep using it because you're scared of losing your
Bro,
friends.
this video is just
It's
saying
harder.
bro, it's kind of making me like anxious, bro.
It takes longer to make new friends in your 30s than in
Tell
your
us
20s.
how
So to change your
this song,
situation, you need courage, energy, and motivation. Things weed addiction makes much harder to master. Worse still, people who feel lonely tend to use more weed to cope, which is linked to even more social isolation. Weed can fill the role of your best friend. It's there when you're lonely, it makes you feel okay in the moment. Your love life can also suffer.
That's very misrepresent, I think.
Social
what guys
anxiety
do.
and complacency is a great motivator to put off dating and having sexual experiences in your 20s, and it doesn't get much easier as time passes.
What?
In relationships, weed addiction can be extremely disruptive. Reports show that partners of daily users can feel neglected, that couple communication can break down, and that trust evaporates. The addicted partner usually doesn't realize how poorly they're handling relationship issues and can be blindsided when their love leaves them. And to be frank, in their 30s, people want a partner who's ready to share the growing responsibilities of adulthood and wants to build a life together. The older you get, the more unattractive your weed addiction makes you. Okay, but who needs friends or
Probably.
love if you have a career, right?
Oh, hell no. That is going
The
to
achievement
hell.
delay machine. Long-term studies show that heavy weed users are more likely to end up with reduced academic performance, a worse education, lower income, less savings, and less stable employment.
Yep.
Even when compared to people
That
from
makes
similar
sense.
family backgrounds
That
and
makes
social class. Many people with weed addiction struggle to show up for work. They're not productive, they procrastinate, and they fail to meet their responsibilities. The consequences of missed opportunities and bad decisions slowly accumulate. Maybe you skipped networking events, had no ambition, and didn't get promoted, or hopped between entry-level jobs. It's also much harder to build up savings since the addiction can cost you thousands each year.
That is
In
true.
your 20s, you transition from being useless to being good at something. And so in your 30s, expectations from others...
That's what I realized recently was like energy drinks and shit. Like how much money I spend on that shit. It's like I've stopped up or I've reduced it highly, you know? But like that is kind of true. That is mad.
and yourself change sharply. People tend to cut you a lot of slack when you're young, but this has an expiration date. The older you get, the worse it feels to compare yourself to peers that are moving on in life and start achieving things. And it's not just career goals. If you spend a decade or two using weed all the time, you grow less as a person. You probably traveled less, went out less, met fewer people, had fewer interesting experiences, and in a way, lived less than your peers, which also really becomes noticeable in your 30s.
That is crazy.
In some studies, long-term chronic weed users had significantly lower life satisfaction, from their motivation and pursuit of personal goals, social and love life, to careers and options. Your life may just overall be much less fun and fulfilling than it could have been. On top of all this, your mental health is the final thing that you may erode over time. The prison of weed.
This is opening my eyes to how socially acceptable weed is. It is actually kind of mad. It's really bad when you think about it, bro.
What makes weed addiction so devious is how at first it can seem to improve your mental health. It can calm anxiety or depressive feelings, make you more relaxed and feel less lonely. But weed acts on your brain's reward system and the effects can flip without you noticing. Weed can damage your ability to regulate your emotions and can worsen anxiety or depressive feelings and can escalate into serious mental disorders, which you might think that you can self-medicate against by doing even more weed. This can impair your coping skills, making you
that a
fragile
prostate?
and easily overwhelmed, unable to deal with stress, increase anxiety or depressive symptoms, worsen your mood, cause mood swings and irritability. The addiction can hold back a dam of bottled up negative feelings that's ready to crash into you and the people around you at any
Not the
time,
Stranger Things.
until
guy.
eventually it doesn't work anymore. Especially during a mental health crisis, weed can make things much worse for you. On the flip side, there's research that shows that addicted people who give up weed experience a noticeable improvement in their mental health. Here's the thing. All the negatives
No
we
say.
talked about, missing your life as it flies by, social isolation and not even getting close to
This
living
is a
up to
great
your
video.
potential, are not happening sometime in the future, but today.
W
No matter
video
your
chat.
age, if you find yourself addicted or in danger of becoming addicted, there is a way out. It's not fun and it will be hard. You need to quit. And the earlier you do,
Duh.
the better your life will be.
That was a great video. Besides following the Twitch, subscribing to the channel, and tuning in and joining the Discord, joining the family. Besides that, what's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is stop smoking weed.